completely baffled. This paint color, everyone's obsessed with it, but something just doesn't add up. It's called Revere Pewter, it's by Benjamin Moore, and it's supposed to be this amazing warm gray. It's like been one of the best-selling colors in Benjamin Moore's history, but really, is it all that amazing? In today's video, we're diving deep into the mystery of Revere Pewter. We'll uncover its true colors, expose its sneaky little undertones that you might not expect, and I'll even reveal 3 unexpected color pairings that will either make you fall head over heels in love with this shade or run for the hills. Let's get started. Revere Pewter by Benjamin Moore is a popular warm gray paint color, kind of in that mid-tone range, that can also look like a greige depending on the lighting and the surrounding colors. It does have an LRV of around 55, which is the light reflectance value, a 0 to 100 percentage of light reflectance. So if you're new here, all that means the higher the number, the brighter the color. 55 is kind of in that middle of the road territory. It's not too light, not too dark, and it does have a slightly muddy, soft, green-tinged undertone. This often happens when you combine gray and beige or brown. Sometimes green can manifest just based on how they mix, and Revere Pewter definitely does that. I would never call it a green color, but the green undertone is kind of noticeable. But despite all of that, Revere Pewter is a versatile color that can be used in many different rooms, but it's important to consider the lighting and other factors before choosing it. I feel like it's a great choice for those who want a more calming and relaxing neutral color palette with some subtle warmth, but make sure you watch out for that green. Test your paint colors with swatches, or better yet, tester boards, or even those stick-on samples, and then test out these 3 color pairings that I picked specifically to go with Revere Pewter. You're gonna love them. The iconic Revere Pewter in all its glory. We recently talked about Edgecomb Gray, but this is going to be the darker cousin. It is a deeper version of Edgecomb. It also feels a little more gray, greeny to me because of its saturation increase. Maybe it isn't necessarily someone's first choice as a main all over the house color, but I have seen it being used more and more in that way. If you have a decent amount of lighting, it won't feel too dark in a lot of cases. But if you do want some lighter colors or even a white option, I think Simply White is a great choice. It'll feel really crisp and clean, minimalist, a little bit warm leaning. Sometimes Simply White has this thing where it can feel a little bit greeny, but next to Revere Pewter, which has more of that apparent green aspect, you won't really notice it as much in Simply White. So that's why I think they're a great 1-2 punch. And then if you want a lighter color that is kind of neutral, but still goes with Revere Pewter in a really interesting way, I want to present you Beach Haven. So to combat that gray-green aspect, you have this pale, creamy, yellowy color that I think really brings in some positivity and energy. Also brightness with a 77 LRV. Quite a light color. It may not be the obvious choice to some people, but I think it gives you some duality. It gives you some versatility. It gives you a lighter, warm option, with Revere Pewter being an otherwise neutral, sometimes cooler leaning mid-tone option. And then the third color pairing I picked is going to bring in even more color, and it's called Stony Brook. Even darker than Revere Pewter and much more saturated with blue and green and still some of that gray. The hue is proudly on display here compared to Revere Pewter. This is an accent color, but it's an accent color that fits pretty nicely and neatly because it is still toned down. It's not a pure saturated option that would just be overpowering. There is a decent amount of versatility here where you can use this on accent pieces or on accent walls or accent rooms. There's a lot you can do here. And that's it.